forehand again that you were talking about. Very powerful on his forehand.
Yeah.
And so, after a good solid performance, JORGENSEN takes the first game against Lee Chong-wei, 22-20. More to come. And you can see the Malaysian fans that have gathered here in the Street Fort Sports Complex in South Delhi. They were probably expecting an opening game win from their national hero, Lee Chong-wei. But after a good solid performance from JORGENSEN, a very significant game, Morten, as now, of course, Chong-wei, you would think, of course, by coming out first, usually gets the first point for Malaysia. How different it would be if he lost that first point and the rest of the team would have to pick it up.
Yeah, that would not be good for Malaysia. Somehow I have the feeling that Lee Chong-wei has got more in store for us than what we saw in the first game, but we will have to see. All credit to Jan. I think he took his chances, he played well, and you know, he deserved to win that first game, so now it's up to Chong-wei to put up the heat.
Was, oh, I think that was long.
That was out.
We did see the Danish coaches having a word with him there. There's quite a few words as well. And I'm sure they were telling him the same thing, just keep up pace with him.
Chong-wei was not happy there. He slipped on the floor. I don't know if you noticed it. But hopefully there's not a slippery patch on that court.
That's right. Court cleaners, of course, on the ready, but sometimes the moisture does build up a bit too quickly. With the movement of these players, there's a high incidence of probability of injury if this stuff is not taken care of.
That's in. That's in. Oh, good shot.
Interesting return.
Yeah.
That's out. And this is the thing about Chong-wei. He can come out and all of a sudden points just fall towards him in the rhythm that he plays and the style that he plays.
Yeah, Jan have to watch out now. He's got to follow Chong-wei, not to give him a too great a lead, because otherwise, as I said, Chong-wei is just growing in confidence and he will be very, very difficult to deal with.
I think that is the best way of putting it. He's going to be very difficult to deal with. Look at that. That was awesome.
6-love.
Yeah.
6-love now.
6-love.
And that's how quickly the points can stack up for the world number one. And so perhaps JORGENSEN has been very aggressive, or aggressive enough, since the beginning of this match. And now when you're 6 points down, how much more aggressive can you get? both players reading the backcourt line very well.
Service over.
And so
1-6.
Janne Jorgensen on the scoreboard. Again, there's that delayed return.
Service over. 7-1.
He's very deft around the net, Chong.
Anywhere on the court.
Service over.
So 2-7 now. Even being behind 5 points has not dulled the confidence you can see in this man's eyes. He's come here to get a result. So far, he's 1 game up. Back. 3-7 now. I can tell you, you can hear from all the sounds in this wonderful auditorium some of the other quarterfinals that are happening in this evening session. India versus Indonesia, that's probably where most of the sound is coming from in the Uber Cup. China taking on England, also in the Uber Cup. And of course, Korea, Indonesia as the other Thomas Cup quarterfinal. 2 semi-finalists already qualified from this morning, of course, China and Japan. China beating Thailand, Japan beating the very impressive French team, Morten, that's got the quarterfinals.
Yes, huge surprise. I think they have fought tooth and nail. I think really they have been a very, very nice surprise. I think they have done well. I'm very impressed.
And China and Japan will be facing off in their semi-final, and of course the winner of this match will be playing the winner of Korea and Indonesia. That's all going to be happening tomorrow. And then the Uber Cup final will be at 3 p.m. Indian Standard Time on Saturday, and the Thomas Cup final same time on Sunday. Plenty of incredible badminton still on the way. Meanwhile, back to this game as we close into the midway interval of the second game. Chong still 4 points ahead after racing to a 6-love lead in this game.
Said that, you know, if you can stick with Chong and retrieve as much as possible, that's what we saw Jan doing here. And then eventually the mistakes are creeping into Chong Wei's game as well. So don't panic when you play him.
Just play your best game.
Keep it going, keep it going. Don't take chances. Let him sort of make the decisions whether he wants to really push it or not.
I assume though the strategy like that is physically demanding. You have to be on the...
Yeah, you obviously have to be in good form.
Oh, that one just wide.
Service over.
So 10-6 now.
10-6.
Chong looking good for the midway interval. Doesn't seem to be phased by the loss of the first game.
Not really, not really.
No stranger to losing the odd game, of course. And look at that, he just delayed that right to the end and then picked his spot. So 11-6, and Chong looking good for this second game. we don't get to hear the words, but you see some of the hand signals that the coaches use. And
yeah, sometimes we get a good idea what they want.
Chong Wei back on court, and Janne Jorgensen just getting a few last words.
11-6.
Yeah, from Kennedy Onesen. Himself, former world number 2.
I think I was talking to Jim Lagerson this morning about the depth in coaching talent and, of course, actual playing talent in Denmark. The World Championships coming up as well, of course.
12-6.
There's another one of those shots you were talking about, Morten, just over the right shoulder.
Yeah. He was going long. So Chong Wei did well to duck and get out of the way.
And that one
Over. 7-12.
very nicely weighted. 7-12. And you'd think if Janne Jorgensen is going to make a claim to this game, this might be one of the chances to do it. He played the same strategy there. He kept at it, forcing the power and then going delicate at the net. And on the third attempt, one of those mistakes you were talking about.
It was like a training drill. Smash drop, smash drop.
So 8-12 now.
Oh, that's good.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's good. Obviously tough luck for Jan, but really played by Chong Wei.
And you'd think by
Service over.
pouncing on it
13-8.
with a reflex kill like that, it would be past any normal player. But Chong Wei is so fast. So 13-8, and a chance to build on that lead.
Service over.
That's
9-13.
something you don't see very often from Chong Wei.
No, but so far I don't think Chong Wei has played that impressively. I know he's got a lot more in store.
And that one's out as well. So, Janne Jorgensen
13.
into double figures in this game. Of course, one game up already. And he knows that he just has to keep his focus.
Yeah, he's got to take it point by point. Don't think of, you know, how far,
Up.
how many, nothing. Just take it point by point.
10.
And some of the fans gathered for the India-Indonesia Uber Cup match, so I talked about earlier.
Yeah, China has won the first game, 21-17, and
Still playing well.
very nicely disguised by Jan. Good delayed shot at the net there. There's no doubt that he wants to make amends from last night. The performance against Targo was simply not good enough.
And this one, I'm assuming, much better.
So far he's done much better here tonight.
Oh, that was very nice.
12-14.
And his coaches so far happy. I do find it incredible. We just saw some of the Danish team with some klaxons, some vuvuzela type noise machines, and I would have thought if they can get banned in football, obviously, would have thought they would have got banned in badminton as well. They must be. I do wonder sometimes how these top class players can deal with all this noise from the other courts and still.
You learn to disregard it. I actually always think that, you know, it's a lot worse if it's a quiet stadium, a lot of people just watching quietly, and then there's someone sitting up in the corner screaming and shouting. That's
far worse.
That's far more annoying. This total noise doesn't face most of the players.
It's general ambient noise that's around. Now back to the game. Chong serving at 15-12. To start showing some of those gears soon as Jan is closing up, and some of these shots very reminiscent of Chong Wei. He's had a great week so far, has to be said, but he knows that his team are depending on him to deliver this first point.
That he's also done so far.
Service over.
So 16-13.
16-13.
That was a beautiful disguised drop.
Yes, it is.
So 17-13. I'm thinking probably his strategy now, as we get a close-up of some of the other Malaysian team members.
Yeah, this is the Yubakok team.
Nicely snatched. He's won a good couple of points